seen in years. She goes, oh, congratulations, and you're so far along.
Oh, no.
She's like, I'm not. It's even a little bit far along.
Oh, no.
Has anyone ever looked so polished on the red carpet, yet left a trail of chaos the moment cameras stopped rolling? Because that's exactly what people are whispering about right now. We're talking allegations, lawsuits, and more drama than anyone can handle, all swirling around the usually radiant Blake Lively and the unsuspecting Justin Baldoni. No one saw this coming. Here we all were, thinking they were the perfect duo, until rumor after rumor started leaking out. And let's not forget the elephant in the room, Rihanna herself allegedly ready to pounce with her own legal fury, claiming Blake's new beauty brand might be crossing lines it shouldn't. Sounds like a perfect storm of celebrity scandal, doesn't it? Brace yourselves, because this story is about to unravel in ways you never thought possible. The moment whispers of a legal showdown began floating around.
And that's part of the point that Justin's team is making in kind of complying with what they're viewing as threats made on her behalf.
Everyone wondered, is this for real? After all, Blake Lively has kept a squeaky clean image for most of her career. She's that sweet, camera-ready star who rarely ends up in ugly spats. Until now. According to industry chatter, tension between her and Justin Baldoni started over an unnamed project that fell apart faster than anyone could blink. One day, they were all smiles and promises of synergy. The next, hush-hush meetings, cryptic social media posts, and swirling talk of betrayals. Could it have been a contractual meltdown, or was there something deeper at play? People close to the situation claim a host of private communiques started leaking just after negotiations stalled. An assistant allegedly stumbled on some messages that painted a whole different picture, one involving power plays, backroom deals, and maybe even a few questionable stunts. Once the first hint of trouble went public, it was like throwing gasoline on a brush fire. Blogs, tabloids, Twitter threads, everyone wanted a piece of this brewing feud. But that was just the tip of the iceberg. Let's dive deeper, because if those rumors are even half true, what's hiding behind the scenes is downright outrageous. Insiders are swapping stories about heated phone calls, the kind that make you wonder if certain people's public sweetness might be nothing but a show. We're talking full-on meltdown moments, alleged threats to pull out of joint ventures, and a swirl of "I'll ruin your career" talk thrown around in the heat of argument. So, who's the biggest manipulator in this scenario?
Dear Judge Lyman, as counsel for Wayfarer Studios LLC, Justin Baldoni, Jamie Heath, Steve Sarowitz, It Ends With Us Movie LLC, Melissa Nathan.
One camp insists Justin Baldoni was blindsided by sudden demands from Blake Lively's team, demands that felt borderline impossible. Another camp swears Justin never intended to hold up his end of the bargain in the first place, leaving Blake no choice but to push back. Either way, it's a messy triangle of accusations, bruised egos, and confessions that might make you question how genuine celebrities truly are in those polished interviews. Just when you think you've got it figured out, more puzzle pieces slip onto the table. Here's where it gets even more twisted. As if the friction with Justin Baldoni wasn't enough, Blake Lively launched her own beauty brand in the midst of these heated negotiations. Or did she plan that brand's debut before the trouble began? Depends on which rumor you believe. Some say the timing was a last-ditch attempt to shift media focus and recast herself as an entrepreneurial genius. Others argue it was always in the works, and any coincidence with the feud is purely accidental. But the controversy didn't stop at questions about timing. Critics started pointing out uncanny similarities to other established beauty lines, packaging styles that felt a little too familiar, marketing slogans that echoed competitor campaigns, even certain product names that reminded everyone of something they'd seen before. That's when the rumbles about copycat tactics really took off.
He told us that Justin Baldoni claims she tried to take over his movie because she has a history of saying, okay, I'll be the star, but what I secretly want to do is direct it and edit it and produce it.
Could Blake have been so desperate to make a splash that she crossed creative boundaries? Or was this a targeted smear to crush a promising venture before it could get off the ground? The debates lit up the internet in a flash. And still, as big as all that was, it might be nothing compared to who else is rumored to be eyeing this brand with a legal eagle's focus. Now, you want real fireworks? Try poking at Rihanna, the juggernaut behind one of the most celebrated makeup brands on the planet. Rumor has it she's not just annoyed, she's ready to storm the gates if she discovers even a sliver of her trademark style being mimicked. And fans are whispering that the similarities are too glaring to be brushed off as coincidence. The packaging aesthetic, the shade ranges, the promotional phrases, there's talk that some details might be crossing that very fine line between inspired by and downright stolen. Naturally, Rihanna's camp has been tight-lipped, but that only fuels the speculation. Is she gathering evidence behind the scenes? We all know Rihanna doesn't play around when it comes to defending her business empire. Her brand isn't just makeup, it's a cultural phenomenon. So if she truly believes another celebrity line is riding her coattails, you can bet your entire makeup kit she'll take every step necessary, legally or otherwise, to set things straight. If that's not enough to make you raise an eyebrow, wait until you hear about the alleged chain reaction triggered by this brewing clash. They say whenever celebrities argue, half the real drama happens off camera. That's never been truer than in this fiasco. Anonymous sources hint at behind-the-scenes recordings capturing tense phone calls between Blake Lively and some high-profile partners, maybe including Baldoni, maybe including her brand reps. It's rumored we're talking about everything from vague threats of retaliation to borderline confessions that corners were cut in product development. Then come the suspicious text messages.
He and 9 other plaintiffs, including his publicists, have brought a $250 million lawsuit against the New York Times, essentially alleging them of libel and false light invasion of privacy.
One insider claims to have seen direct instructions from an unnamed marketing exec telling the team to borrow visual elements from that other big brand, presumably Rihanna's. Another snippet suggests a mad scramble to hide these tracks once fans started catching on. Whether these messages are real or fabricated, the buzz alone has cast a massive shadow over Blake's entire operation. Now people wonder, was the brand a well-intentioned passion project overshadowed by shady business tactics? Or was it always a cunning ploy to piggyback off successful icons? Whichever side you land on, the consequences are mounting. Investors are reportedly skittish, deals have been paused, and we haven't even mentioned the potential meltdown if Rihanna officially jumps in with lawsuits. It's a nail-biter at every turn, but that's not all the world is talking about. How does this drama reflect on the broader celebrity ecosystem? Once upon a time, the public was content to watch stars chat breezily on talk shows, oblivious to any real controversy. Now, with social media and a million gossip outlets, no skeleton goes undiscovered for long. If a major A-lister is scheming in the shadows, receipts will surface. It's only a matter of time. Some fans are exhausted by the ceaseless swirl of allegations. Others are practically cheering on every new leak, hungry for the next shocking reveal. The cynics say this is all a publicity stunt. Manufactured chaos to keep brand names on everyone's lips. But at what cost? The more these celebrities scramble to outrun their own controversies, the more the rest of us start to wonder how much of their best selves is just a costume they wear for the cameras. It's become a feeding frenzy. Comment sections are ablaze with theories about whether Justin Baldoni is the real victim, blindsided by devious deals, or if he's complicit and simply trying to distance himself now that it's blowing up. Meanwhile, Blake Lively's supporters claim she's the one under assault, with naysayers trying to sabotage a successful launch and ruin her reputation. Throw in Rihanna, and everything escalates to a boiling point.
Asking for the gag order and explaining how he's talking too much. He's threatening to post stuff on public sites. So what I think is,
the lines between rumor, fact, and smear campaign blur daily. One thing is sure, the meltdown isn't over yet. As the chatter intensifies, public opinion is split straight down the middle. One half of the internet is screaming for Blake Lively to be cancelled, accusing her of brazenly ripping off more established brands and manipulating those around her for personal gain. Others are doubling down on their support, claiming she's being framed by opportunists, maybe even Justin Baldoni himself, who see her brand's success as a threat to their own ambitions. And what about Rihanna's fan army? They've been known to defend her brand like it's sacred ground. Already, people are raising virtual pitchforks, vowing to boycott any competitor that tries to hitch a free ride on Rihanna's creativity. Every new rumor about potential legal steps sets social media on fire, with fans chanting things like, "Don't even think you can fool Riri." In the meantime, mainstream outlets have started picking apart every line from every press release, hoping to uncover hidden confessions or half-baked apologies. Late-night segments are cracking jokes about how these A-lister spats are becoming more common than box office hits. It's reached that fever pitch where every new detail feels even more unbelievable than the last. But just when you think you've heard it all, fresh revelations started pouring in, painting the entire saga in even more dramatic colors. As it turns out, some unsuspected names have allegedly jumped into the fray, adding layer upon layer of tension. We're talking major Hollywood players, backroom deal makers, and maybe even a few estranged friends turning into sudden allies.
Justin says that Blake was determined to make him the real-life villain in her story because she wasn't doing well on the promo tour for the movie. It was very tone-deaf.
Or enemies, all clamoring for their piece of the spotlight in this spiraling controversy. One former confidant of Blake Lively, who once championed her every endeavor, reportedly spoke out anonymously, claiming they always sensed an edge beneath the star's glossy exterior, an edge that might have cut deeper than anyone ever suspected. Whether these remarks are genuine, bitter, or part of someone else's cunning strategy is the latest hot topic lighting up social media like fireworks. Behind closed doors, rumor has it that studio executives are scrambling to salvage partnerships or quietly wash their hands of the mess altogether. They're reviewing past contracts, rechecking clauses for any language that might expose them to fallout if the looming lawsuits actually land in court. No one wants to be stuck paying monstrous legal bills because of a meltdown they never saw coming. Supposedly, at least one major company is rethinking future collaborations with any celebrity whose name is now tainted by these explosive headlines. That means both Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni could face abrupt cancellations of deals. They were banking on, assuming the situation doesn't cool off. And trust me, nothing about this scandal screams cooling off anytime soon. Meanwhile, the fan communities, already divided, are morphing into full-blown war camps. Team Baldoni supporters are raking through every tabloid snippet and cryptic tweet, hunting for anything that proves Justin is simply a scapegoat in a larger, more insidious plan. They claim messages exist that show how Blake's brand expansion was timed strategically to overshadow a collaborative project, seizing the spotlight just when Justin needed it most. On the other side, Team Blake is convinced she's the real victim, cornered by Hollywood sharks who resent the fact that she's found a sweet spot between her successful film career and a fledgling beauty empire.
And that's part of the point that Justin's team is making in kind of complying with what they're viewing as threats.
They argue that Justin, or certain unnamed executives, might have orchestrated negative leaks to tarnish her reputation, all so she'd lose her standing in a cutthroat industry. And what about Rihanna's potential involvement? That storyline has mutated into its own sprawling labyrinth of speculation. Fans are comparing packaging, shade names, promotional photos, anything and everything to find evidence of a brazen ripoff. Some people swear they've spotted near-identical marketing images that only differ in background color, as if someone haphazardly tweaked them just enough to sidestep obvious accusations. Others assert that the entire thing is overblown, that no one can claim exclusive rights to common design elements or universal color palettes. But amid all these arguments, Rihanna's silence grows more deafening by the day. If she truly plans to pounce, she's certainly taking her sweet time. Or perhaps she's waiting for the perfect moment, ensuring she's armed with an irrefutable mountain of data before dropping that hammer. In the middle of all this speculation, so-called industry insiders are coming out of the woodwork with fresh bombshell revelations. One particularly vocal individual claims to have attended a private launch party for Blake's brand, describing the atmosphere as tense and aggressively competitive. Guests allegedly overheard boasting about outdoing Rihanna in market share, a tall order, if not downright delusional. Whether that was just puffed-up trash talk or an earnest plan to dethrone an established titan remains up for debate. But the fact that such sentiments even surfaced has fans side-eyeing Blake's entire operation with suspicion. After all, publicly, she's all about empowerment and positivity, but behind the scenes, it seems the gloves might come off the moment. There's a chance to snatch a bigger piece of the beauty pie.
Her hair care line wasn't doing well. She was trying to sell booze while talking about domestic violence. Justin says the war between himself and Blake really started in May 2023.
Of course, the conspiracies don't end there. A few amateur detectives on social media are floating a wilder theory that Justin Baldoni and Rihanna might be in contact behind the scenes, forming a loose alliance to expose the deeper layers of manipulation swirling around Blake's brand. It's the kind of speculation that sounds straight out of a soap opera, yet it's picking up steam on forums dedicated to picking apart every angle of celebrity drama. People are analyzing old interviews, dissecting subtle nods or coded language. That could indicate Justin is quietly feeding information to Rihanna's team about the brand's questionable tactics. Outlandish? Maybe. But in a world where leaked messages, abrupt betrayals, and hush-hush recordings are becoming alarmingly common, it's hard to dismiss anything as impossible. Meanwhile, entertainment news platforms are having a field day, spinning headline after headline, pulling in massive clicks from an audience that can't seem to look away. Some journalists are even joking that the ongoing fiasco has become a sort of talent goldmine, boosting ratings and revenues for any outlet that dares to stir the pot a little more. Naturally, that prompts skeptics to wonder if the entire controversy is, in fact, a carefully orchestrated PR stunt. It wouldn't be the first time celebrities stirred the rumor mill to stay relevant, though the involvement of legal threats, brand impersonation rumors, and potential lawsuits does raise the stakes to a level that's risky for everyone involved. Then there's the question of legacy. How will this fiasco shape the future careers of Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni?
I want full control because I am a controlling bully. That Justin Baldoni, ultimately, by the time they got to the premiere, was mandated by Blake Lively to spend the night in the basement.
Not to mention the shadow it could cast on Rihanna's brand. In Hollywood, reputations can take a lifetime to build and a single well-placed scandal to shatter. If the lawsuits come to fruition, the real fireworks won't just be in the tabloids, they'll be in the courtroom. Imagine entire legal teams dissecting product catalogs, marketing materials, email threads, and financial statements, all in a bid to prove who copied whom, who lied, and who orchestrated the entire mess from behind the scenes. It's the kind of real-life drama that even the best screenwriters might hesitate to pen, fearful of being accused of stretching believability too far. And let's not overlook the unsuspecting bystanders. Those publicists, stylists, social media managers, and production staff who might find themselves dragged into depositions because of a single email or phone call. Careers that had nothing to do with a beauty brand launch or an ill-fated collaboration could suddenly become collateral damage. That's the brutal truth about Hollywood feuds. They rarely stay contained to the stars alone. The fallout can rip through entire networks of professionals who were just doing their jobs, never anticipating they'd be entangled in a blockbuster meltdown. At this point, the question is, will any of them escape this unscathed? Is Blake Lively on the verge of a dramatic fall from grace if these allegations keep piling up? Has Justin Baldoni been pulled into a PR nightmare he never asked for? Or did he play a bigger role from the start? And is Rihanna really locked and loaded, ready to strike with her high-powered legal team the moment she confirms her suspicions? No matter where your sympathies lie, one thing's glaringly obvious: someone here has been pulling strings in the shadows. Each new reveal offers a glimpse of manipulative brilliance, a constant hustle to outsmart the tabloids and control the narrative. Yet, in the end, ego might be the downfall of whoever's orchestrating this. Some watchers say it's only a matter of time before the entire house of cards collapses, burying the culprit in a mountain of receipts, leaked calls, and contradictory statements. So, where do we go from here? If Rihanna truly decides to file official paperwork, it could be the legal face-off of the decade. Two major celebrities clashing over alleged brand theft, complete with backroom drama and more evidence dumps than anyone can keep up with. Meanwhile, Justin Baldoni might slip out the side door with a smug "I told you so," or find himself dragged into depositions he never saw coming. And Blake Lively, the star once admired for her grace and style, might have to fight tooth and nail to reclaim whatever's left of her reputation, if she can. Because in this world of flashing cameras and million-dollar deals, the stage is set for a showdown that'll be remembered long after the headlines fade. No one's guaranteed a happy ending, but that's the risk you take when you try to play puppet master in a place where every phone call can be recorded and every smirk becomes tomorrow's scandal. Keep your eyes on this saga, because the next development might be the biggest bombshell of them all. The truth may finally come crashing through any polished facade, and when it does, well, let's just say there won't be any going back. Stay tuned, everyone! This could get even more explosive before it's done. After all, we're just spectators. And in the realm of celebrity chaos, the only thing certain is that no one is safe when receipts start flying. Let's see who crumbles first.